This is her second time coming to Operation Yes, so we're excited to have her again. And this time she's a recent graduate from Stanford University, so and she's prepping for her MCATs so that she can go to med school. So enjoy her presentation.
Hi everyone. Nice microphone. So today Darshana asked me to talk about Stanford University. Most of my presentation doesn't really have anything to do with diabetes.
Closer to you.
Closer? Okay. Most of my presentation doesn't have a lot to do with diabetes, but I've left a lot of space at the end if you want to talk about how diabetes sort of fit into my Stanford experience. So today I kind of wanted to go over a number of stereotypes that I personally had about what it meant to be a Stanford student before I got there, and sort of how my perspective changed after being there for 4 years. So maybe you guys don't have the same stereotypes that I did, but sort of work forward from there. Do I have a clicker? Oh, I do have
I'm the clicker.
Okay, so stereotype number 1. Anyone admitted to Stanford is antisocial and bookish, which is obviously a euphemism for nerd. Hopefully, after talking to you for a few minutes today, maybe I can disprove that sort of sad but prevalent stereotype of Stanford students. In general, though, I just want to say that Stanford, the best part of Stanford for me has been the people, because it's the most wonderful, eclectic, and eccentric group of people that I've ever met in my life. Everyone has something sort of subtle and interesting about them, and the people that seem normal are really just the ones that are more quiet about their eccentricities. So, if you want to click, proper edit will be, instead of antisocial and bookish, we'll say eccentric and driven. Within my close circle of friends, I'm sort of going to be pulling from them as my sample, because I think we're representative enough of the Stanford community at large. But in these past 4 years, within my circle of friends, we've worked on Stanford Concert Network. One of my friends had a radio show through Stanford's station KZSU. We've done independent studies in creative writing and poetry and painting. Sorry, I have sort of an inventory here, I guess. Okay, so we've completed a number of inter-dorm soccer tournaments, 3 total road trips, 2 to San Diego and 1 through the southern island of New Zealand. We've been skydiving, we've skied on Stanford's ski team. One of my friends learned to swim for the first time at Stanford. One of them joined the cycling team, joined a Bollywood dance team called Basmati Ross, and one of my good friends, Craig Curry, is on the Stanford cheer team. Have any of you seen a Stanford football game before? Yes? Do you know the cheerleader that does flips all the way down the field every time they score? Maybe not, I don't know if CNN shows it, but that's one of my best friends. I'm super proud of him. So, call out to Craig. So basically my point here is that you'll find with any college campus, you'll go in thinking that people will be a certain way, and the whole thing will be completely deconstructed. You're going to make the best friends that you've had in life, and I know it's sad to say that your high school friends tend to drift, but you can hold on to them if you want, but your college friends are the ones that are going to stay with you, because the 4 years you spend in college, or the 2 years, or however many years, maybe 5, hopefully not, those are the people that you're going to be the closest to, because those are going to be the biggest changes that you make. Okay, so stereotype number 2. Stanford students are mostly from wealthy private high schools. I personally thought that this would be the case. I thought I was going into this super elitist, prestigious school, and that I was going to feel comfortable. But what I found was that the community was so diverse that there's really no overrepresentation of anything. So I personally am from Bella Vista High School. Is anyone from Bella Vista in here? No? Oh well, that's fine. It's a public school in Fair Oaks. Stanford, as a community, is 60% students from public schools. This is the current class right now represented. 30.2% private schools, 0.2% homeschool, and almost 10% international. So it's pretty even as far as the playing field goes. I definitely at no point felt like my previous education had put me at a disadvantage that I couldn't overcome. So that was a big deal for me. Go ahead. Okay, stereotype number 3. The cost of Stanford education is over $50,000 a year. This is not quite a stereotype. It's a pretty expensive school to go to. However, Stanford is really, really great about offering financial aid packages, which is the reason why I was able to go to Stanford. So last year they gave over $116 million in financial aid to the students. This is need-based, not merit-based. So you apply and you get in, and then they assess your financial needs and they work with you on it to make sure that you can go once you've been accepted, which worked out so well for me. Because Stanford was my dream school, and it would have been really heartbreaking to get in and then find out that you can't go. They also obviously have merit-based scholarships. A lot of those are athletic. We have a pretty thriving athletic community. Go ahead. Okay. Stereotype number 5. Stanford has an awful football team, which may or may not be true. However, go ahead. We're good at other sports. As previously discussed, we have really great volleyball teams, women's soccer, women's basketball. I think we have 111 national championships. So it's safe to say that while we may not be the biggest football school, we have a really nice stadium that's fun to attend. And we do really well in a lot of other things. I think we took home, Stanford students alone took home 8 gold medals in this past Olympics. I think 12 silver and 4 bronze. So still pretty athletic. Okay, stereotype number 6. This is something that I believe to be true because Stanford has its own zip code. It's huge. I thought it would be a self-contained bubble and students are rarely exposed to anything beyond the scope of the campus. I'd heard from a lot of students that once you go to Stanford, you think you're going to spend a lot of time in San Francisco and Santa Cruz, but you really just end up staying on the farm, which is what we call Stanford because it's kind of a farm.